Good morning. I'm Mike Burke. I'm your English teacher for English 201 674 Introduction to Literature. I thought I'd make you a short video to introduce myself and introduce the course and talk about some of the issues that come up in online classes. First, I'm very grateful that you signed up for it. We have a full class of 25 students, and I'm looking forward to working with each of you and learning who you are and learning how you think. The first thing you probably need to worry about is a textbook, and I'll show you this. It's The Art of the Short Story. It's a pretty standard textbook. One of the reasons I pick it is that it's fairly comprehensive and it's very inexpensive. It only runs about 20 bucks. You will need to buy a copy of it to successfully complete the course. Most of the stories in it are what we call canonical works, that is, works that have been studied in a variety of different ways that have been around since the 19th to the 20th century. But what's really nice about this textbook is that it has a long critical apparatus for each short story, and it also has a really nice section on different critical approaches to literature, which is one of the major focuses of our course. In this particular course, there's a tremendous amount of reading. You can expect to read 3 to 5 stories a week. It's a 16-week course that's being crammed into 8. So we're going to cover a lot of material in a relatively short time. There's no novels in the course. It's all relatively short fiction. The longest piece we'll probably read will be James Joyce's The Dead, a mid-20th, or actually early 20th century story about Ireland, and a really interesting one. There's also a couple of films that are optional to watch in the course. One is of The Dead, another is of John Cheever's famous short story, The Swimmer. In terms of work for the course, there are going to be a lot of discussion board postings, 2 to 4 a week. You'll have to write 3 2-page papers, and I already have the assignment sheets loaded into Blackboard. You'll have to write a 1-page short story, what we call microfiction, towards the end of the course, and you'll have to take a final exam. And the exam is one question, and that is, what kind of criteria would you develop for deciding what stories get to stay in the canon? That is, what are stories worthy of consideration over a long period of time? In this particular course, we're going to begin not so much with the stories, but with critical approaches. Our textbook contains 10 different ways to approach various literary texts, and we'll start by doing an overview of those, and you'll then be able to apply a couple of those schools of criticism to a couple of short stories that I've assigned. Everything in the course is on Blackboard. Our college regulation is I can't open it until the very first day of the class, so expect it to be open early on the morning of June 5th, which will be Monday. Best way to talk to me is probably by email. You have my email address already. I've sent everybody 2 emails, one to your personal email and one to your college email address. The my.stlcc.edu one is the one that Blackboard recognizes, so that's when you'll get announcements and things for Blackboard will only go to your STLCC address. In the 2 emails that I've sent you a link to something called Remind. It's a free app that allows us to text each other, and you can text your classmates without having their cell phone numbers. So please sign up for that. Only one student has signed up for it so far. I've used it for a couple of semesters now, and it seems to work pretty well. Finally, please acknowledge that you received my email that asks you a few sort of basic ground rules and conventions for the course, and make sure that you've done that before Monday. As I said, I'm looking forward to working with y'all. I'm terrible with names, but the nice thing about being online is I'll know exactly who you are every time you email me or post a comment to discussion board. So thank you for your attention, and I'll see you on Monday.